What's up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my podcast, Happy Days, with me, Callum Church. Today, I'm talking about the most important part of our days, and it is the morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's the morning that I'm talking about today. So, first of all, why is your morning so important? Well, the first reason for this, and arguably the main reason for this, is the fact that it sets the tone, it sets the bar for the rest of your day. You know, carpe diem, seize the day. If you seize your morning, you seize your day. And if you seize your day, you seize your life, you know? And if you don't already live your life by the philosophy of carpe diem, then you need to. You really do need to, because every day is a building block for your life. Your morning is what makes your day, what sets the tone for your day, and your days are the building blocks for your entire life. So if you want to live a life that's fulfilled, you got to feel fulfilled in your days, right? On my mug, I've got my Happy Days mug. It's got a quote on there which says that the secret to a joyful life is by living joyful days. You know, and it's true. It's true. If you seize the day, then you seize your life. So set the tone for your day. Carpe diem, seize the day, and do that through the morning. Set the tone in the morning, and you set the tone for the rest of the day. You're at your best in the mornings as well. You're fresh in the mornings. It's the best opportunity for you to take on some of the hardest tasks in your day. That's what I do. Every single morning, first thing I do in the morning is exercise, because it's the hardest physical task for me for the rest of my day. I get it out of the way. And you know what? If I do the hardest thing I have on my list at the very start of the day, sets that bar quite high, right? And everything else for the rest of my day comes underneath that bar. It's a breeze. It's an easy day if you set that bar high first thing in the morning. Because once you climb up there and get to that peak of your day, it's a steady decline for the rest of your day. It's easy, and it's kind of like an ice cream, right? Bear with me. I'm going to use an ice cream as an analogy in this episode. It's like a cornetto. Your day is like a cornetto, you know, and it's where you start your day. It's the morning. It's the best part of the day. And that's where all the sweet stuff happens. That's where you get that nice ice cream, right? And it tastes good. It's the best part of it. The best part. And then the rest of your day, you know, you might have some crunchier cones, some crunchier tasks for you to do for the rest of the day. Maybe some that are slightly more boring. And as the day goes on, you do less of these tasks. And you know, tick them off the list. Tick, 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 tick. There's less crunchy tasks. And slowly, you know, you get that cone shape, you know. So it starts off sweet, starts off the best bit. You want to seize that part. If you're going to seize the day, you've got to seize that part. That's the part you most enjoy for cornetto. If you don't, what's wrong with you? You know. So you got to seize that nice ice cream part at the top, and then, you know, it sets the bar for the crunchier tasks following. Now you might think I sound like an idiot talking about an ice cream and comparing that to days, but I thought that was a pretty nice analogy. And last of all, why is the morning most important part of the day? It's quiet. It's the best part of the time for some quiet time. You know, some more opportunity to focus on the harder tasks, or focus on what kind of person you want to be, what kind of day you want to set out for yourself. You know, it's the best time to be alone. You know, I think time alone is really important. You know, we in romantic relationships, we always go on dates. You know, it's pretty important part of a healthy relationship, right? To spend time together, go on some nice dates and stuff. Why don't we go on dates with ourselves? You know, this is something I've been doing recently. I don't always do it in the mornings. You know, a lot of the time I actually do it in the afternoons. I take myself off on a date with myself. You know, I take my longboard along the beach, find a nice spot, and read a book. You know, and not only does that, you know, get my reading done for the day, but it also spends some time alone. And the morning's a really good time for you to be alone. You know, it's a good time to meditate. It's a good time to, you know, just sit there and think with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whatever your preference is, you know. And it's just a good time for you to, you know, reset your brain, you know, quiet it down a bit. We get so much noise during the day. the morning is the best opportunity for that because there's far less noise, far less noise. So let's get into the actual meat of this episode. Let's talk about how to master your morning. How can we master our morning? Now, it's worth checking out episode 3 of this podcast if you haven't done so already, because in that episode I talk about discipline, but I also go slightly more in depth on the morning routine and why the morning routine is so important. And I talk about an acronym which Hal Elrod uses in his book, The Miracle Morning. And I talk about SAVERS, SAVERS. It's an acronym for your morning routine, so make sure you check that episode out if you haven't done so already. I'm going to steer slightly away from that now for my morning routine now, because my morning routine has somewhat developed since I made that episode. And it suits me and the way that I start my morning, the way I want to start my morning. So here's some tips and activities and practices for you to do first thing in the morning to make sure that you master your morning and make sure that you master your day. So first of all, first thing in the morning, what do? You wake up and you've got to jump out of bed. Seriously, jump out of bed. Why is this? Because if you don't, what happens a lot of the time when we don't jump out of bed? We stumble half asleep over to our alarm, we turn it off, and then we stumble back and get into bed again. That is the worst thing for you to do in your day, in your morning, if you do that. Honestly, we cannot afford to do this because that sets that tone for the rest of your day. The tone and the bar for the rest of your day is lying down in bed lazy and snoozing, Do you think you're really going to seize the day if you start your day off like that? Of course you're not. You're absolutely not. And as you know, it becomes easier and easier to snooze that alarm once you pressed it once, So if you press stop and get up for a moment and jump out of bed and get the blood flowing slightly, that's when you're not going to press snooze and you really are going to seize your day and seize your morning. Second of all, the second thing I do, without even thought, drink some water. Every night I leave a glass of water not next to my bed, on the other side of my room actually, next to my TV, which is just behind me, I just chug that. I down it straight up first thing in the morning because, overnight your body has been fasting, literally. That's why it's called a breakfast when you eat in the morning, because it's a break of your fast. So you've been on a water fast all night. Water's so important, as we all know. Your body's made up of 70% water, of course it's going to be. And we need to get some fluids back into us. So the first thing I do is chug some water. This gives me some opportunity to wake up slightly, wake up somewhat. Water really helps you to wake up, stop you feeling so groggy. And then I make sure that I do not, whatever I do not get back into bed. Okay, I might go downstairs, fill up my water again, and drink some more water. I might, look out the window for a bit. I was like, just do anything except get back into bed, because we know that it's so important that we don't do that because it sets our day up poorly. Next, I make my bed. Instead of getting in your bed, make your bed. Why? Because, again, it's another couple seconds for you to burn, for you to wake up somewhat. And also, once you make your bed, it is far less inviting to get back into it. It's like folding up a t-shirt, you don't want to screw that up again. You've made your bed nice and neat. You don't want to screw up the bed and get back in again. No, of course you don't. Once you fold your t-shirt, you put it into your wardrobe and then you get on with stuff. You don't, fold a t-shirt then put it on. That would be weird. That would be wrong, right? So make your bed. It's a little psychological tactic that you can use to stop yourself from going back to bed and make sure you seize the morning. Next, affirmations. Affirmations, baby. This is what you do to focus your brain on what you want from your day or what you want from your life. I've got certain affirmations. I've got a desire statement, which Napoleon Hill talks about in his book Think and Grow Rich. These are some things which I read off in the morning and say to myself every morning to make sure that I'm set, I'm focused, and I'm locked on to what I want from my day, from my life, from everything. Exercise. This is it. We've woken up now, we've done one small task of affirmations. Takes about, a minute or so, doesn't it? this is where we start getting into things, and this is a core piece of the morning routine. And I really want to make sure that everyone does this. That who are listening now, I want every single one of you to put some exercise into your morning routine, to do exercise in the morning. Because why? It's to eat the frog. It's to get rid of the most difficult task in the morning, the most difficult physical task anyway. And a lot of the time it's the physical tasks which are worse and more of a burden than the cognitive tasks, right? So if we can get up and do the most difficult thing first thing in the morning, that's going to set the bar, isn't it? That's really going to set the bar. Gets the blood flowing, helps you to wake up. And it's just making sure that you do the hardest part of your day, the hardest task of your day first. Get it out of the way, get it done, and set the bar for the rest of your day. You're going to seize the day if you do that. Next, for me, shower or something. You'll be pretty sweaty from your workout or run or whatever exercise it is. Sometimes I run, sometimes I do a nice little HIIT workout, just downstairs. And just jump in the shower, for extra points, make it cold, baby. Extra points if you make it cold, because, that gets the blood flowing. Again, it's another hard task for you to tick off the list, keeps you in that high level, that high threshold of your day. You're still in the sweet ice cream of that cornetto by then if you turn it cold. So, make sure that you do the hard tasks first, get them out of the way. And taking cold showers, so underrated as a psychological tactic for us to get used to and get more comfortable doing the uncomfortable, because if you can get comfortable doing hard things, the more hard things you do, the better your life is going to be, Take on your hardest cognitive task of the day. Okay, this is where we start getting into things. And no, you might be thinking, what about breakfast? No, I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I'm not thinking about that just yet. We're going to take on the hardest cognitive task of the day, after getting dressed, after our shower, of course. So this is where I sit down and I will get on with some work. The hardest task in my work day. For me, right now, I'm doing it now. I haven't eaten yet. I'm recording today's episode of the podcast in my morning because this is one of the harder tasks of the day. Certainly the most important task. So, what's most important, what's the hardest task, just get that out the way and done. Get it done, get it in your locker, and the rest of your day is going to be much easier. Now, once you've done all this, for me, this is where I reward myself. Because by now I would have done a decent little morning. I've done my 2 hardest tasks of the day. I've set the bar for my day. I've got ready for the rest of my day. Got through my morning, made sure that I've seized the day. I know from now that my day is going to be great because I've seized the morning. So this is the time to reward ourselves. And that is when you reward yourself with a nice, good breakfast. Make it healthy, make it unhealthy if you want to reward yourself a little bit. Make sure that you're not eating unhealthy every morning, of course, though. But yeah, reward yourself with a good and nice filling breakfast. And there you go, that's how you master your morning and therefore master the rest of your day. You can swap some of these out for other activities like reading or journaling, whatever works best for you, or you might want to structure your day a little bit more stricter around how Elrod's SAVERS acronym. Make sure you check out that book. It's an excellent book. Make sure you check out episode 3 of the podcast if you haven't done so already, because I do talk about it, as I've said earlier. And yeah, that's how I master my morning. That's how I know if I'm going to have a good day or not. It's because I do that. And sure, there are some other tasks that you have to get on with your day. Obviously, I spoke about journaling or reading. I prefer to read in the afternoons, when I take myself out on that day, as I've said earlier. So you can swap them in and out. Some people might want to exercise later. For me, I think it is much more beneficial, personally, to get the physical task of the day, or the worst physical task of the day, out already and done. But I suppose that's just preference. But that is how you master your morning. That is how you master the rest of your day, and that is how you master your life. Honestly, guys, your morning is so important. Underrated. Heavily underrated. If you adopt this little morning routine that I've done, or maybe make up your own and structure that, honestly, that will set you on course for some really, really good days, and therefore a really, really good life. So that's all that I have for today's episode. I do truly hope that you did enjoy it as always. If you did, please consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, because it really does help the show. And also, make sure you leave me some feedback on Instagram. I want to hear from you guys. Follow me, send me a DM. My Instagram handle is @callum.g.church. It'll be awesome to connect with you guys. And again, that's all I have for today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.